Welcome back, guys. Automotive Inc. Before we get started today, make sure you smash the subscribe button, give me a like at the end of the video, and hit the notification bell when you want to know there's new content coming up. Today, we're going to talk about the 2025 HD Ram trucks that are going to be coming out or hitting the dealers very, very soon, and a lot of the rumors that aren't and are going to potentially come true. So as you guys know, I've had plenty of Rams in the history, and my 2024 Ram was not my favorite. My 2015 Ram Mega Cab 1-ton dually was by far the best Ram I've ever had, and it is still kicking and rolling down the street. So here we are today talking about the 2025 Ram. Rumors have it that they're going to be getting the 1500 acclimate, meaning that the 1500 crew cab, that's going to come over to the HD trucks. Unfortunately, guys, since 2010, Ram has kept basically the same cab structure with tweaks to the exterior, interior, and stuff like that. Matter of fact, the interior it currently has was basically kind of a chopped down version of what the 1500 has, making it look like the 1500, but it doesn't share that. You can go look at the 2024 switches in a Ram. They look the same as they have for quite a long time. In addition to that, guys, the biggest changes for Ram are going to be coming in the powertrain department. So if you're looking at a Ram truck and you look forward to a different powertrain, that should be happening in 2025, but that is yet to be seen. So a lot of rumors have it, guys. Basically, for 2025, Ram is going to tweak the grille, the headlights, the hood, the front end of that truck. As for the rest of the exterior, it's going to remain basically unchanged. So those ugly belt trims that warp after about a year and a half, 2 years, those are going to be back. Bed lengths for the Ram 2500 and 3500 are going to remain unchanged. As you guys know, as I've mentioned in tons of my other videos before, the Ram short bed is the shortest of the HD trucks. It actually has the smallest interior volume too. So why Ford and Chevy and GMC have basically bulked out to give you more capacity inside the bed, and Chevy having the longest of the short beds and Ford being the next longest short bed, and then Chevy has the longest long bed. So for Ram, they're going to keep the crew cab, which unfortunately is still not the full crew cab like the half ton. And if you look inside there in the HD trucks, you have a large bell housing in the passenger front footwell, which again, if you're a larger person with larger feet or whatnot, I find that intrusive and I don't like it. So a big bummer with the 25 is it's not going to change. You're not going to get any more bed length, bed volume, or anything like that. Now, the race to fame is always this huge, let's keep climbing the horsepower, powertrain thing. We're going to get to that in just a second. Now, when it comes to the interior, this is where Ram can also tweak a few things. There's speculation that I don't believe is going to come true. It's about a heads-up display on the passenger side, some bigger infotainment system, and golly, we really don't need a bigger infotainment system. The Uconnect 5 is plenty big. I would ask them to actually make it more user-friendly and less chances of having glitches. That in the 24, it was kind of glitchy in some areas. So you're going to get some small exterior changes and everything like that. Interior, it's going to basically remain the same. Hopefully they'll tweak some of the switches to make them look like today, you know, not from 15 years ago. And it is what it is. Now, I do like Ram trucks, and I do like a lot of things that they offer. However, I think they've fallen behind where a lot of other manufacturers have succeeded and excelled. So I think that it is a nice truck. I think the price point is good and everything like that. Now, as we climb into the fact that it's not going to get drastic changes, if you saw the thumbnail and you're thinking, wow, that's a great looking Ram, it looks like it's getting the update, that is just a concept. You can go to 90 different forums and all the speculation. So since probably 2020, 2021, people have been talking about the Cummins, the Hemi going away, everything like that. One, Cummins is on the forefront of making hydrogen, dual fuel, multi-fuel engines. I do not believe, and I have no reason to believe, based on the people I've talked with, that those type of engines are coming to Ram anytime soon. And the reason why that is going to continue that is because that talk has been going since years ago, that they were going to bring out a gas engine Cummins for the Ram truck. I don't believe that. No reason to believe that. And, you know, at the end of the day, one thing that probably is going to become true is the race to horsepower on the diesel side is that Ram will just finally get rid of it. They've went back and forth for years. They've had an HO, they've not had an HO, they've had this, they've had that. I do believe that they're going to only offer the high output Cummins in 2025. Now, one of the biggest things that is probably almost 100% coming, and we don't know if it's going to be 25 or 26, is the Powerline ZF 8-speed automatic to be offered across the board. Now, when it comes to the cabin chassis, whether or not this engine has a different type of PTO takeoff or for different kind of dump bed applications, whatever your chassis needs, that'll be seen. Now, we all know that ZF makes good transmissions, and that for the longest time, people have banged on the 68 RFE. Now, I've had the 68 RFE in tons of my Rams. I've actually never had a single problem with them, but I'm not a guy that tweaks horsepower and bumps this and that. And I think that's where any of these heavy-duty transmissions from the manufacturers will fail, is when people start pumping 300-400 more pounds of torque out of it, more horsepower and all this stuff. I don't think that they're built to take on those type of loads in addition to doing the towing with that extra horsepower. Now, if the ZF 8-speed does take over and they get rid of the ASIN, the ASIN was a great transmission. It was heavy duty enough, but it was kind of a rough shifting transmission. That is the only transmission I've actually ever had fail on one of my Rams, was an ASIN, or ISIN, however you want to say that. So a ZF 8-speed, if that's the transmission that's coming and going to take over, that's probably a welcome thing, but then you'll still have the same people tweaking and porking more power out of it, and that potentially is going to cause more problems. But no more standard output, maybe a new transmission. I think that those are things that are definitely going to become true. But when it comes at the end of the days of adding a hydrogen type version to Ram trucks, I think that is beyond a ways away, because there's just no infrastructure for that. I don't know where people are going to go fill these things up if that was the case. I know in California they've been selling hydrogen fuel cell cars for several years now. They're only offered in California, so maybe that's something that will start in the west side and then come this way. I have no idea. And to drop the standard output Cummins, yeah, that's fine. I think most people would probably want the HO anyway. But at the end of the day, guys, when it comes to the Ram trucks, Ram has a recipe that works, and I think a lot of people like it. But I do implore all of you guys to go out there and drive all three of the big three and see which one works. I think the Hemi's going to be back. No reason to suggest that the Hurricane's coming to the HD. I don't believe it's heavy duty enough yet. But what they're doing with that, I think the Hemi's going to be back. The standard output's gone. The ZF 8-speed Powerline will be here. No major interior tweaks, no major exterior tweaks. They're probably going to have to beef up the frame a little bit, because the new ZF does handle more. Technically, it's built heavy duty enough that it could go beyond what they would ever want to do. So if this is the platform they're starting with and going to start and continue building on, I think that that's probably a good thing. Again, 68 RFE was fine. But I think really a lot of people that are buying Rams these days, they like their Rams. They're a Ram follower. They're going to be Ram. For me to go back to a Ram, I need you to change the whole cab, because I'm not going to buy a mega cab short bed. You can't get a mega cab long bed. I just want a regular crew cab. You can continue to offer the mega cab. The outside was a sharp enough looking truck. This is just little nuances. They're called mid-model refreshes, but there's really no huge upgrades. Now, if they do stiffen the frame and stuff, Ram's frame was plenty of robust, but of course, when we're going to start packing up more towing capability, you're probably going to have to beef up that frame, so that will probably happen. Those are easy tweaks, but to retool a whole HD line, I think Ram is basically taking a step back and waiting to see what the heck's going on with the world, you know, when it comes to all of these fuel options that are coming out and where they want to go. So I know a lot of you guys came to this video, you've heard a lot of chatter for years. For years this was going to happen. It's not. The recipe will basically stay the same, and I think some of the most important thing that Ram could have done was probably upgrade the transmission for a lot of people that are doing the heavy duty towing and just were afraid of the 68 RFE, didn't like the shifting of the ISIN. So at the end of the day, I think that's going to be great. I don't really care about the extra tech that's allegedly coming. I think that that is what it is. If people want a heads-up display on the passenger side, it'll make my wife vomit. So that wouldn't really be a huge pulling point for me. And really, at the end of the day, you know, I think another thing that is guaranteed to come with these new options is a bump in price. So I hope that did dispel a lot of rumors, guys, and I hope that you guys aren't all bummed out that you can't get a gasoline inline six Cummins. I just don't think that that's going to happen anytime soon, and I think that it's going to be more of the tried and true, it's already been working recipe that Ram has been offering for years. So guys, this is Automotive Inc. I appreciate you being here, and I hope that this does line up your 2025 truck needs goals, so you can kind of look at it and say, that's cool, I just like a Cummins, I just like a Hemi, I want that ZF8. Hopefully it comes in 2025. It may be 2026. We'll see about that. But at the end of the day, that kind of puts it into perspective. If you're waiting to see what the next big thing is from each manufacturer, don't expect anything wild from Chevy or GM in the next year or two. Don't expect anything crazy from Ford. It just got its whole new refresh in 2023. I think if Chevy does anything, it's going to be body refresh. They already got their engines kind of dialed in. Ford's got their engines basically dialed in, and Ram has their engines dialed in, but I think for simplicity's sake that they're going to just chop that down. But if you're looking for that sexy, pizzazzy truck that you're seeing all over in the prototype photos, not going to happen. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one.